Hello and welcome to the ign-uk-podcast. On this week's podcast, well, I'm going to be on it, I think.
I think it'd be better if you stay.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say hello and then go. No, I'll stay.
Okay.
I'm Alex and I'm joined by Luke Kamali.
Hello.
Who I dearly love.
You do.
I do.
You do.
Should we get onto that later?
Yeah, I haven't printed it off, but yeah, we can
Rich Bear
discuss
Park.
it.
Hello.
You never come on the podcast,
Yeah,
and now
I know.
you're here.
I know. I'm normally in the other room.
You're the
recording
guy
it.
messing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be
Yes.
fair, the sweeping sound wasn't my fault.
Sweet. Well, yeah,
That
but
was
the,
actually just Stuart sweeping.
but the glitching of last week.
Well, the glitching wasn't my fault either. It was a
Well,
hard drive error. Apologies to all.
Yeah, but you're the person that presses record, and therefore it is your fault.
Yeah. Right, it was
Luke
entirely my
printed-
fault.
Luke printed off the feedback this week, but there's a guy who wrote in, and it's the first time
You're
he'd
Daniel Krupa, by the way.
I'm Daniel Krupa, hello. There's a guy who wrote in, the first time he ever had an email read out on the podcast, and it cut out as soon as we started to read out.
I'm really
his
sorry.
email.
Like, oh, I don't know why I'm
to read out
apologising.
today, or is that?
No, I didn't bring it back in.
You get one chance.
Yeah.
One
Who
chance
knows
only.
what's going to happen with this podcast?
Yeah, and it's
Maybe-
Bear
Maybe
Park's
backwards
fault.
or
It
whatever.
might not even be recording.
Well,
So,
there we go.
Let's hope it is.
I hope so.
So,
Also, we've not. If you are watching as well, it might look a little bit cosy.
yeah.
The freight because we've lost our table.
Someone's nicked our table.
Yeah, we've lost our table. So we took us quite a while to get ourselves into this position when we're not touching. So
Yeah, it looks like we're having therapy.
It
Or
does.
it's like an AA meeting. Or
My,
something.
my legs are quite close together. My balls are currently quite crushed.
Yeah. And Luke's got shorts on as well, just to make it a little bit more
Awkward.
sexy.
I have just to make it so you can see my
Whoa,
flesh.
Luke, put the mouse back in the house.
Hey,
It's going to be that basic instinct moment.
very exciting for us all. So yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Is the hope?
So just to address, so we did get an email from a listener who said that, can I stop hating on you?
This is actually the second such email we've got from two people.
So the first one was from lkamali@hotmail.com.
Which
the
was
second
a
one was
bit of a giveaway.
kamaliluke@hotmail.com, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and that person had a genuine complaint. Yeah, no, but it's just Alex's sardonic humour, and
Should
he very much.
Do you want to hear anything from that email in particular?
I don't know. Do we?
What do you think?
Well,
He's upset because he thinks that I despise Luke.
Well, the subject title is Alex needs to stop attacking Luke.
Do you
Okay.
feel like Alex is attacking you?
I think he's
No.
constantly attacking Luke Kamali. I listen to a lot of podcasts, mainly because I don't have a TV. The quality of content is terrible in Qatar. This is where this guy lives. Right.
like as in phlegm.
I thought you guys had good chemistry until Alex started to constantly attack and undermine Luke. This is very obvious, and I honestly feel like switching off when this happens because of the negativity from Alex makes me cringe.
Wow.
Alex, you're just going for him. I basically, it's clear to me as a listener that Alex does not like Luke.
Wow.
I was quite taken aback by this.
So, yeah.
And so I think as soon as it came in, I did say to you,
You did.
do you feel like I'm attacking you?
No, and then we.
Do you feel like I'm attacking you? Do you? Yeah, I feel
By the
like,
throat.
it's like if he's getting that impression from the podcast, you just see what you like in the
Jesus
office.
I was
Christ.
gonna
Yeah,
say,
you have no
You've
idea.
not seen me attack someone.
Yeah. No, it's all
Very on
very.
edge.
It's Alex is quite sardonic and sarcastic, and I happen to say stupid things.
But I would say,
We each have our roles.
I
It's a
would
good
say
defence.
it's a British thing though.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
get it all the time when we went over to San Francisco.
I think you're a real gnarled.
People think you're
soft.
very cutting, don't they?
I can't help it. It's just how I am.
Well,
I don't
I
mean
think
it.
this guy who wrote in, I think he is a Brit,
Yeah.
but I know a friend who studied at American University for a term, and he made friends with some guys, and when they were down a pub or a bar in America, he was just like interacting like he would with his British mates.
Yeah.
And after a while, this guy's just turn around like, "Why are you being such a dick?
Yeah.
Like, why?" Are you, like,
But that's what
and it's
happened when we were in
I'm
San
not.
Francisco.
I like you, and we take
Yeah.
the mick out of each other.
We
a
are absolutely
lot.
horrible. I mean,
Brutal.
Bear Park's ginger, and I mean,
Here we go.
You are really horrible to me.
I'm really
Yeah.
horrible to Bear
But
Park.
the thing is, if someone else from another team
might see it now.
took the piss out of one of you two, I would kick off.
Yeah.
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 They're not allowed to do this.
There's
No.
a sense of trust.
Yeah.
It's like you can insult your parents and your family, but no one else can insult your parents and
Give
your
them a
family.
slap. So
Yeah.
when sales came
I haven't
over
insulted your mum, but I've done something.
No, I knew that was going to happen. Why did I do that?
She's practically my neighbour, right?
She is practically your neighbour, yeah. Now let's please leave it there. I know, yes, Alex lives in the same town as my mum.
I've parked my
You
car
mean
in a
he pays
garage.
fealty to her? He works the land in service to your ancestral home.
Yeah, that's right. He lives in...
in.
Feudalism has largely died out in the UK, apart from Luke's domain.
Yeah. Good. Are we all happy?
Yeah,
Good,
I'm
good.
happy. Bullying and feudalism covered off in the first 10 minutes of the IGN
There we go.
podcast.
So what have we
It's a
been up to
goodie.
this week?
I've been spending loads of money on my credit card.
Good. On.
For you lot.
Yay! Thank you. Alex has been buying us presents.
Well, not really.
No.
Flights to Germany. Because,
One-way flights to Germany.
yeah.
For Gamescom.
Yeah.
Well, you think that, but I've booked it for the wrong week.
Ah.
Have you?
So we're just going on
Of
holiday.
course I haven't.
Because originally you did say give the email that it was the wrong week.
What?
You said the W/C the 17th, and I assumed that meant the week commencing the 17th, but it isn't. It should be the week concluding the 17th.
Oh, I don't know.
Or whatever. You've booked it right now, so it's fine.
Thanks.
I'm like, I was going to tell you at the time, but I thought I'd wait until.
But yes,
everything was
Gamescom
here.
is now booked. Apart from you.
Apart from me.
Well, your
Might be
hotel's
booking it
booked, but your
tomorrow.
travel's not.
Yeah, my travel's not.
Why haven't you booked
I
it?
might be going to Amsterdam the weekend beforehand.
Oh, might you?
Yeah, on a jolly. Not really.
With
Nice.
some IGN US chaps who've invited you,
With
but none of us.
Really?
That's awkward.
Yeah.
no. I think like it will get extended. It's very much just a conversation right now.
Right.
That
So
we're
then
not
if-
part of.
So we could all be going to
We're part of it
Amsterdam.
now.
What's it to see? Is it just for fun?
What's it to
To
say?
see. There's a lot
Who
to see in
knows?
Amsterdam.
So, but here's the
mate.
thing: is it just for funsies?
For funsies.
I thought it might be to your game. No, it's just for funsies.
It's an IGN first.
It's a
on the
very
Anne Frank
specific
Museum.
game.
You're so posh. It's ridiculous.
Is it funsies?
Is it for funsies?
So it's not for fun.
Yes, it's for fun.
Oh.
yes.
Yes,
For fun.
Yes, it was just one email. No subsequent information has been relayed.
Who's it from?
Krupa,
I don't think
Tal,
this is the right
and
day.
Marty are going on a big old
And we're
red
not
light
invited?
district tour of
Well.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, lads.
We're invited.
We're not.
Well,
Might just come along anyway. Turn up.
Amsterdam,
Why don't
you.
we do our
Basically,
own little
I'm
thing?
going to the Anne Frank Museum to write she was an IGNer.
Joe.
Oh, it's a
Bieber.
bit Bieber-esque.
That's what I was going for.
I was a bit late.
Yeah, well, this is exactly why we can't be on the podcast together.
Ooh.
Anyway, should we move on to this week's news?
Yeah, I can't remember who was
People are
first.
still listening.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
You.
It's who would have thought that another Star Wars rumor would come out?
Yeah, well, we're making them up each week, right until release, people. So, latest one is from the Latino Review. That came close to a very offensive.
That did come
impression.
quite
I
close.
really retrieved that last minute.
Latino Review sounds like a little sexy website.
Yeah, Latino Review.
Come and see the Latino review.
Please don't forget to post your review. So on the Latino Review, user rating. Latino Review suggests that Star Wars Episode 7 will include Mandalorian mercenaries and Sith witches as the antagonists in that.
So
film.
Mandalorian is Boba Fett's.
The Mandalorians, I believe,
Slightly
are a
different.
nomadic sect.
And they're like
of which Boba Fett
Yeah,
and
is one.
Boba Fett are associated.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one, and so they kind of like they're Jedi hunters in this era, right? In theory, they're meant to be.
Bounty hunters.
Yeah, but they're specifically like they take out the bounty.
We're in the realm of speculation territory. They'll be whatever you want them to be. They
They're-
might be dinosaurs in hats.
They were in Knights of
That'd
the
be
Old
quite
Republic.
fun.
They're older. They've been around in Knights of
We're
the
off
Old
piece now,
Republic as
people.
well. They were Knights of the Old Republic, the
Who
game.
was?
The
Mandalorians.
Mandalorians, like
Okay.
their kind of clan, a warrior clan.
A canon ain't a canon anymore.
Yeah.
We're a long way from home, Dorothy.
Right.
So, and also Sith witches.
What's all that about? Is that just like Lady Siths?
Sith witches, right? I don't know much, but this belongs to the expanded universe,
Okay.
and I have brought up the Star Wars Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
I'm actually on the Star Wars one.
Right, well then it's whatever.
It's the official one.
Whatever.
It's not a pun.
They were a sect of the Witches of Dathomir, sometimes referred to as the Night Sisters. Yeah.
Is that it?
Right.
Well, I was going to go into a lot of depth.
Well, I thought
think it's about 30,000 words long.
Just
Just
4,000 words. I thought,
Skip most.
and you know what? Can't pronounce a lot of it.
Did well with Dathomir though. Well done.
Yeah. So there you go.
Is that a good thing that there's going to be some Mandalorians and Sith witches?
Yeah, I think so. We've got Django, which is nice, or like a Boba Fett bounty hunter type
Django is
thing.
awful.
Django.
Oh, you prefer Boba?
Whoa!
I'm just saying, guys.
Is that a
Just saying.
question even worth asking?
Well, I hated Boba Fett when he was young Boba Fett in the new ones.
But you thought Django really nailed it.
Well, he was.
Stupid silver armour.
He was all right. Isn't it the same armor? I thought he
It
was
was
all right.
silver.
I didn't mind it too much.
It's olive. Everything looks better in olive green.
Does it?
Yeah. That's my
Especially olives.
mantra.
That aren't on the
Right.
crest of House
It's a weird
Simmons.
thing because if we're using the Mandalorians and it is something resembling Boba Fett, that's the second time they've preyed upon the popularity of that character.
Yeah.
And they did it in the prequel trilogy because Boba Fett is like Boba Fett is inordinately popular for the screen time
Exactly.
that he has.
Yeah. He says nothing.
It's
pretty much.
ridiculous how popular that character is. It's largely to do with costume design, I guess.
How many lines does he have? He says he's no good to me dead.
A couple more. He's an Empire, and then he dies at the beginning of Jedi in the first 20 minutes.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
For a 30-year-old film.
Hey.
Jane Eyre, she marries him.
Oh, really?
Spoiler.
You don't actually see him die.
No.
He gets digested over thousands of years.
Sarlacc.
Yeah. So the second time they played upon that, so that's a bit like I don't know if they. Is that wise?
Well, you go for it.
Oh, thank you.
Go on.
I think J.J. Abrams is a smart cookie, and I think he'll do it in a way that feels natural and will hopefully make me feel happy with it, rather than it just going like, this character's really popular, let's throw him in there and, people love it because of that, which is what happened in the prequels.
I mean, the thing is, the Mandalorians as a sect are quite different from him. Like, they kind of have a kind of tribe mentality and all of this.
I don't actually know if Boba Fett is a Mandalorian. He wears Mandalorian
he wears
armor.
Mandalorian armor. As far as I'm aware, that he isn't a Mandalorian who's kind of left them because he's.
We should look this shit.
We're so speculating
He's
here,
a
and we're
Kiwi.
sorry. He's a Kiwi originally
in episode whichever one it was, 2. Wasn't it?
Yeah, Attack of the Clones.
That was a terrible film, but let's not even start on that.
No.
Empire 5-star film.
Really? Wow. So anyway, there we go. So that might be it.
Sith witches.
So are we moving on to the next
Let's
piece of
move on
news?
to the next story
So-
before we drown.
We drown ourselves in
nonsense.
speculation. So, The Witcher 3, some details have leaked. So a CD Projekt Red member had his Google Drive hacked. And so a lot of details have leaked. Some nice details, some not so nice details.
Let's start with the not so nice details.
Okay, the not so nice details include basically just the kind of stuff that we've seen before. Because these were never meant to be made public, right? So someone writing the script for the...
I saw this.
Yeah, writing the script for the E3 demo we saw, and there's a phrase where there's a woman who appears, and it's like, and in brackets it says, you zoom in on her, boob physics, eye candy, and all of this stuff.
Wow.
Like, basically just kind of completely being like, yeah, just give people something to look at.
Yeah.
That's the not so nice stuff. But again, it was never meant to see the light of day. Doesn't excuse it, but whatever.
Yep.
But some other stuff, concept art, details of the endings as well, which we're not going to spoil here because who wants that. But one of the more interesting things was a map was revealed, a map of the island of Ard Skellig, which is said to be 64 kilometres squared and is meant to be absolutely huge, and it's only one of the few places that you can go.
So how big is that in comparison to Skyrim?
You know what? When I was writing the story, I tried to find out, and I couldn't because one was in miles and one was in kilometres, and it really confused me.
That's not that
You could have
hard.
just Googled that.
I could have,
Just
but
Googled the conversion.
I was going to, but it confused
And
me.
stumbled
Have you
upon
got
his
any
drive.
comparisons?
No.
Okay.
I was going to, but I
Is it
was...
similar to the lower field?
Yes, it's similar to the garden, the lower orchard. No, it's big, right? It'll take you ages to walk across. I think
Papa, can I fly the chopper down to the lower orchard?
it's big. Do you know? I'm just going to take a moment to just have a look at how big is GTA. Right?
Really.
'Cause-
How did his Google Drive get hacked, though?
I assume he was looking at bad things on the internet.
I don't know.
Right. How does that work?
Well, keyloggers and thing, innit?
Either way, that's one of the negative things about storing all of your valuable stuff in the cloud, right?
Yep, definitely.
Power of the cloud.
What's the most valuable thing you keep in the cloud?
Oh, okay. So here you go. So Red Dead Redemption's map was 72.5 kilometers squared.
So that's bigger.
Red Dead Redemption's whole map was 72. This is one part
Oh, okay.
of The Witcher. So there's at least 2 other places, including the main city
Right.
and No Man's Land. So which you would assume would be quite big as well. So
How
there
big
you
was
go.
it again?
And GTA 5 is 49. So it is 64. I think I said.
Okay.
64 kilometers squared.
It's pretty big
Yeah.
in total.
And GTA 5's map is 49 square miles,
How much was Red Dead?
which is
How much was Red Dead, you said?
Red Dead was 72
72.
squared.
Red Dead's bigger than GTA.
No, I thought they said GTA. Oh, no, hang on a minute. Wasn't it because of... I thought the whole map was 5 times the size, but not necessarily looking down on it, because it was the verticality, because
yeah.
you've got above ground, underwater.
Right.
San Andreas was 36, if that interests anyone.
What's GTA 5?
49.
Don't know, I haven't found
Miles
it. It's
squared, wasn't it?
That's miles, yeah.
What about the crew?
I don't know.
That's, you should know all this stuff.
That's actually just you drive across America. It's incredibly
Oh,
boring.
GTA 4.
Not really.
But it's super compressed.
Oh well, someone. No,
Right,
hang on.
yeah.
Someone's
But
now.
I think you could probably get
You know,
from LA to Vegas
the thing-
in
Someone's now said
3
Red Dead is
minutes rather than
17.2.
4 hours. It's not going to be full size, is it?
Well, I don't know. Some people might like that.
Well, no, it's like Penn and Teller's game. You know the Penn and Teller video game?
What's that?
But let me just look this up so I get my facts right. Okay,
Because
so,
we haven't been doing a lot of that so
interested,
far
Yeah, I am.
today.
I like magic.
Rich is a very talented magician. So
He never
it's an
talks about it.
It's an unreleased video game.
You never let me forget. I can't believe they
Right, carry
made a
on,
video game.
carry on. I'll look at what I want to find.
I'm kind of done on that one.
well,
But there's going to be some
and the
Connect
next-
stuff as well, wasn't there? And
Oh
Google
yes,
Glass.
one of the other things it does mention
Google
that
Glass?
Smart Glass
Smart
and
Glass.
Connect functionality hasn't been implemented yet, implying that there may be some. But they have already said previously there will not be exclusive content, so it will probably just be a way of interacting rather than any extra mini games or anything exciting like that.
Okay.
Will you be able to fast travel across such a vast land?
I believe so. Yeah.
So it's a mini game within a unreleased video game called Penn and Teller's Smoke and Mirrors for what was it for? Sega CD. So one of the mini games is called Desert Bus. Desert Bus is a game in which you drive a bus from Tucson, Arizona to Las Vegas in Nevada
Wow.
in real time at a maximum speed of 45 miles per hour. It takes 8 hours of continuous play to complete,
What?
and it cannot be paused.
How did they fit that into
Well, I
the
think
disc?
it's like it repeats because it's basically a
Oh,
straight run
right.
in a
Yeah.
desert.
My favourite bus is the
Why would
Venga
you-
bus.
Amazing. Why would do you even include that? Why would that seem like a good idea?
It's funny, and because the reason I remembered it is we recently, around Easter time, published a feature about gaming charities and how people are using the medium of video games to generate money for charity. And one of the things people do is use Desert Bus because it's a bit of a gag
Yeah.
and a feat of endurance. Like, can you do this 8-hour kind of monotonous thing?
Wow.
But it was unreleased.
It wasn't released, but you can.
But it's straight, so it's a straight road.
I think so, but you need. I think the bus would like go one
Right,
way or the other, so
right.
it needs constant correction, otherwise it ends.
Oh my god. That doesn't sound very magical.
Although the landscape never changes, an insect splats on the window screen about 5 hours through the first trip, and on the return trip, light fades with differences at dusk and later a pitch black.
So it's a
road with
return trip as well,
Oh yeah, you got to go back.
Wow.
haven't you?
Gotta go there to come back.
and you don't get any of the fun bit in the middle.
The Vegas bit. Well,
The
I'm assuming
Vegas
you're just
bit,
the
yeah.
driver. Maybe you're just dropping them off and then going off to your other jobs.
Oh, let's rescue this podcast with some Bourne news. Krupa.
Rich.
Well,
Rich,
Bourne news,
sorry.
yeah. So the producer of the next Bourne flick has said that Matt Damon will not be returning. It's all rumours at the moment. Apparently, he was talking to the Hollywood Reporter
Yeah.
and said,
I do love the idea. It's just one guy,
"What's that?"
the Hollywood
Oh,
Reporter.
Hollywood
He just
Reporter,
runs
just
around,
one guy.
and gets all this amazing
It's
information.
like that analyst. Analyst
She
is she's quoted everywhere.
Yeah.
What's the guy who does TMZ? No, all the Britney Spears news. I don't know why I'm looking at you, Luke.
Oh, are you on about Perez Hilton?
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
He does a lot of reporting, doesn't he? Loads of that. Anyway, so
Slightly different. That's the actual person doing the job.
yeah. Well, anyway, so we got
I'm going to get complaints about bullying Burfire.
yeah. I think
Hollywood
everyone will.
Reporter.
So Frank Marshall is the producer.
I
of,
thought he was the Hollywood Reporter, but he's not.
No, he's not. Yeah, simply not true. Apparently.
So this is responding to rumours last week that Matt Damon was going to be back.
Yeah, that was the reason for the delay that was
But
cited.
The delay is happening because there are script problems, not because of Matt Damon.
Or so they
Okay.
claim.
That sounds worse.
Yeah, so
If
it's
you ask me.
pushed back to 2016 now.
Yeah,
So I didn't see the last. What was the last Bourne film? called?
Bourne...
Legacy?
Was it Legacy?
With
Yeah.
Russell One Renault.
It was Legacy
Yeah.
because
Well,
it
I can't
was
remember.
Identity,
I was,
You were in that one,
Supremacy,
weren't you, Krupa?
Ultimatum.
It was a long shoot.
It was
Yeah.
Identity, Supremacy,
It's Legacy.
Ultimatum, Legacy.
So
How
basically,
did you find that? Did you do all your own stunts?
It was
or?
good. I found it difficult taking over from
Matt Damon.
Matt did a tremendous work laying down the foundations of the characters. Coming to that word, it was difficult. I looked at his performances. What
You
he
sound
did
very
with
different
Treadstone.
from what you do on screen.
Well, yeah, but that's acting, Alex.
Is it?
What I do
Very
is
talented.
Give me a touch
acting.
of-
What I do, I imagine what it is like to be that person, and then I become that person.
Can you just give us a little glimpse of your American accent?
No, I need I need makeup.
There's some makeup over there. I'll go
I
and
know
get
And
it's
you
a
know
Max
what?
Factor.
That doesn't need any context. Anyway, who's next?
Me. I've changed my mind.
But
It's
what?
alright. It's all to do
I
with
know.
the story.
Oh, sorry. I thought about being a bit. Okay, fine.
Look
Yeah,
on
good.
your face.
Well, it's always worth checking.
So up until now, I thought the new Turtles film looked like a big pile of Turtles' head.
Okay.
But after this latest trailer, I actually think it looks really good. And I'm excited. Oh, shut up. I'm not taking any criticism from you.
Bear Party likes Transformers.
I know. Bear
Yeah.
Butt likes Transformers.
But if it turns out to be terrible, then I think the tables have turned.
I haven't seen the film. I'm only basing it on the trailer.
Thank God.
You actually seen Transformers and come away with it being like they are good films.
No, the first and the third one, not the second one.
no. Yeah, they're all like.
Because the third is really seen as a return to form.
It really is. It's great.
What is wrong with you?
Brilliant.
Jesus Christ.
So, but anyway, have you seen the new trailer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
I don't know. I can't buy into it.
Did
to
you
be
ever
honest.
watch Turtles as a kid?
Yeah, cartoon. Or the live action.
cartoon and live. Because you're a bit younger than me.
I watched
So you-
I watched more
listening to it.
Turtles cartoons than live action stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really buy into it yet. The new trailer does look a lot better than the
Looks really good.
first one.
The Batman
but
line's funny.
Yeah, the Batman line's really good. It just feels like it's not afraid to sort of poke fun at itself, which...
yeah.
Because the other thing was the line about you guys aliens.
Oh yeah, that's a very cool line at the end
Yeah.
because one of the leaked drafts of the script was that they'd be rewritten and reimagined as aliens.
Yeah.
And Will Arnett's character, Whoopi Goldberg's character, says,
Will Arnett,
are they aliens? And Megan Fox, April O'Neil says, no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
They're just turtles. Oh, and they're ninjas.
Yeah.
And they look pretty cool.
So
I don't know. It's gone from being an
It's just
interest of
whether
3 out of 10
I
to
guess-
a 7 or an 8.
Okay.
And it's going to be entirely the way that it's cut and the music used and the presentation. But it just looks like it does have, for want of a better expression, those kind of Michael Bay ticks
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
some of
massively.
the sequences.
As in
particularly
nervous
stuff
ticks.
turn like crashing down.
Yeah.
But something can be cut in that way.
Yeah. It is the most Michael Bay trailer I've ever seen. Even like the fonts that are used and the way everything's all presented.
But it is, he's got a hand in it.
But I'm excited,
Hand in the
and I wasn't excited, and that makes me happy because I used to read all the TMNT comics when I was a kid. So,
You were there at the beginning.
yeah, well, I've got issue 3 of TMNT. I don't have issue 1 and 2.
You still got it?
Yeah,
Pristine?
in a little bag. Yeah.
Wow.
Near mint. I've got.
I don't think they're worth that much.
Oh.
No.
It's not like early.
It's not like the
You're not
early
gonna retire on
it's
it,
not
are
like
you?
the like 60s in Marvel where
No.
print like they were just ephemeral things that some people by chance kept pristine, and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow, that's amazing. Print runs are so.
I do know someone who went and bought a Spider-Man issue 1 though.
Really?
Wow.
Who?
You all know who they are, but I'm not going to say on this
How
podcast.
much?
I'm not going to say that either on this podcast.
Wow.
But quite a lot of money.
Wow.
But not in the big scheme of it. Wasn't, it was a lot
Well,
of money,
it's actually-
but
Was
not
it
a
Tilly?
ridiculous
There-
amount.
there-
No, it's no one that
you
works
can
there.
get stuff like early issues for like a few £1,000s. Obviously, it's still a lot of money.
But this was-
I think in your head you're thinking of like the ridiculous ones, like issue 1 of Batman, which is over 100,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think this was, gosh, this would have been
Let's have a look. How much?
probably 15 years ago. Maybe more than that, in fact.
Mm.
So maybe even 20 years ago that he bought it. And at the time I was like, "Eh."
I saw someone selling some early issues of, I think it was Fantastic Four, at a kind of market stall. I was very tempted to buy, but then looking on eBay, they weren't worth anything.
No.
And also, you have to make sure you're not buying British versions of the comics from that
Right.
period, because they used to get reprinted in England,
Oh.
and those versions are worth like nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably what they were.
Let's have a look.
Cool.
There you go. So, Amazing Spider-Man #1, with a CGC, which is like the rating of quality, 8.5, which is pretty high. That still, I think that's near mint.
Yeah.
8.5
Sure
what?
it is. Oh, maybe it's very fine.
So the
That's
scale
the
of how
rating. How
it's
good-
kept.
Yeah,
good.
so
Ah.
it is, you send
Good for
your
comic.
comics off to an independent organisation that reviews them, the quality of them. I don't know what 8.5
How much?
is.
How much? How much?
Do you want to have a guess?
For an 8.5 Spider-Man issue 1.
5,000.
$8,000.
7 grand.
So 8.5 stands for very fine.
Right.
That is £18,000.
Ooh.
In that case,
$30,000.
in that case, he's made a very tidy profit.
That's the thing. Very good investment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well done. Him.
Well done, him.
Oh.
Anyway, So obviously we were talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out, but more importantly, Mrs. Brown Boys film is coming out. Who's excited by that?
I can't wait for that
Mrs.
film.
Brown's
Boys, the movie. Look at the look of disgust.
Well, no, I mean, it's some people find it funny, and I mean, I
Yeah, but
It's a certain type.
Well, that whole thing of people wrote when they stopped the program to announce that Nelson Mandela had died, and the BBC got something like 2,000 complaints, being like, "Sorry, that could have waited. He's not going anywhere. I want to see the end of Mrs. Brown's Boys." So
Yeah.
clearly, there is an audience out there.
There
for
is
it.
an
We'll
audience.
remember where
but then
we were
again,
when
there's a
Nelson
Harry Hill film as well.
which I think initially I thought that almost could have had promise, but because I like Harry Hill stuff.
I like Harry Hill
Yeah,
stuff.
you wouldn't go to the cinema and see a film with him.
And his
you know?
musical's been canned now as well.
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone? Yeah, I Can't Sing, which is the X Factor tie-in, and you'd think
That's been canned.
yes, all the cast were put on 2-week notices, so it closed
wow.
early. Yeah, not fun.
I like TV Burp.
Yeah, I like his stand-up.
I love
as well.
I love Harry Hill.
I've not really seen it.
But I think-
Stand-up's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently the film was unwatchable.
Well, they didn't give us any press screeners or anything, which is usually a sign that they don't want any.
see it though, would you?
Sometimes.
Well, if it's free.
Wow, you can do anything.
If it's free.
But yeah, Miss Brown's Boys, I'm not excited for that. I'm not
No.
going to go see that film.
Thanks for that.
But then also Monty Python are
That was the question.
reforming. So when is that? When are they
I
actually?
think they're playing this weekend in London.
This weekend.
Yep.
Same weekend as Glastonbury.
Same audience.
Another Penn and Teller tie in here. They've seen the rehearsals and they said it's amazing.
It's crap.
Yeah. Do no go.
Teller didn't
Wait,
say
it's
anything.
O2
I saw
they're-
Teller the
they're
other
playing.
day.
I think it's O2.
Saw Teller in Soho.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, did you say hi? Did you show him the picture of you and him?
No, that would have been weird, wouldn't it?
That would have been pretty cool.
But anyway, that got us thinking. What is the best British comedy?
I quite like Nighty Night.
It's a good shout.
I
Never
really
seen
like.
it.
You've
So
never
what
seen-
is 90 Nights?
So 90
I imagine
Night,
some people
yeah.
would
So for
never
those
have
who
heard
don't
of it.
know, Julia Davis, she's the wife of Julian Barrett, who is half of the Mighty Boosh. You'll recognise her from loads of things. She's in Gavin and Stacey.
Which character does she play?
You know the kind of married couple who are just awful, and Dawn and Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Dawn.
Okay.
So anyway, she's got quite a strong Bristol accent. So 90 Night is basically the story of her. It's it's her comedy. She's the lead, and it's a very dark comedy about how her husband is diagnosed with cancer, and basically, long story short, he starts to get better, but she quite likes the attention of him being ill, so she's telling everyone that he's dying and he's getting worse and worse.
Sounds like Breaking Bad.
Well, yeah, but then all the while, kind of, a new neighbour's moved in who is confined to a wheelchair because she's got ME, and she quite fancies her husband. So she
This is basically
pretends
all the
to get
ingredients
close.
for a great British comedy.
It is
Yeah.
like it is so dark and so bleak, but she is just so ridiculous, and it's got Ruth Jones in it, who is Nessa from Gavin and Stacey.
Loads
It's
of Angus Deaton.
Angus Deaton.
Yeah.
Mark Gatiss
I always forget
appears in
the
it.
yes, Mark Gatiss, very good, and I always forget the name of the woman who's from the thick of it, who is
know her name.
Claire someone or something.
Look it up.
She's very anyway. She's
Deserves
Kath,
a
and it's just like hiya, Kath. Yeah, no, it's just very very funny. It's a very funny show, and it's very dark, but quite bleak.
Yeah, I second your opinion on that. I think
Yeah,
it's brilliant.
I think
How
it's
many
really-
series are there now?
Unfortunately,
Two.
It used
Two.
to be on British Netflix, and it's no longer there. So I was going to say to any international listeners, try and get on UK Netflix, but it's no longer there.
It's you should be able to find some highlights on like YouTube and stuff. It is really worth it. I think it's very funny. Or buy it because it's cheap.
Or buy it.
What was your shout, Krupa?
So my shout is Rebecca Front.
That's a name.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
She's hilarious.
Yeah.
She is actually. So my pick would be, this is actually one of my favourite TV programmes of all time. I kind of watch it all the time if I'm stuck for something to watch, is The League of Gentlemen.
I've never seen it.
You've never
Very
seen it?
funny.
Tom
Hilarious.
never saw The League of Gentlemen as well.
You've only
And
recently
you
watched it.
I only
haven't you?
watched it very recently, about 6 months ago.
Yeah, so Tom went and watched it recently as well. So League of Gentlemen is based on the stage show and the radio show from a Perrier-winning comedy troupe, but unlike kind of the other comedy troupes Britain is famous for, like the Pythons or like Comedy Strip.
Yeah.
Comic Strip?
Comic strip.
Yeah.
They don't have a kind of... Or like Footlights, don't have a kind of university background from Cambridge, Oxford. They are Mark Gatiss, Rhys Shearsmith, Steve Pemberton, and the writer only Jeremy Dyson, who doesn't appear and act in the show.
Yeah.
Except for
And-
once.
in cameo roles, but he never acts because he's just a writer. And it's kind of, they create this kind of weird fictional northern town called Royston Vasey, which is the real name of the comedian Roy Chubby Brown.
Yeah.
Right.
And they create all this, like, this very... Each season has a kind of through line to it, but it's told through kind of standalone sketches. But they create, like, this own weird, unique, again, kind of dark British world.
Yeah.
Set amidst, like, these moors. And it's hilarious and dark, and they were massively influenced by loads of British horror movies.
Right.
So it's kind of, like, well up my street.
I remember sort of seeing, when it first came out, like seeing bits of it and thinking, that doesn't look much like a comedy at all.
No,
it's
quite dark in places, right?
It's dark throughout. Like, it's all dark. There are characters that are hopeful, but even they are
Doesn't
tinged
go
with
well for them.
darkness.
Yeah.
And there's loads of stuff about, incest, and
Cannibalism and-
inbreeding, cannibalism, all those sort of things. But it's incredibly cinematic as well.
Yeah.
And it kind of like the Christmas episode is, I think, one of the finest kind of one-off episodes of anything. And it takes the form of a portmanteau horror movie. So you get 3 short stories linked by a framing narrative.
Yeah.
And it's about people coming to the town's vicar on Christmas Eve and telling her stories that are kind of little tiny horror movies.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I watch it every year at Christmas, and it's so good. And all those guys have gone off and done things individually. Mark Gatiss is like, he kind of owns the BBC now creatively. He's the showrunner on Sherlock, if you didn't know, and obviously he works on Doctor Who. And
He'd appeared in Game of Thrones as well this season, right? He was the Ironbrank of Bravos guy.
And Steve Pemberton and Reece Shearsmith continue to work together on stuff like Psychoville and Inside Number 9, which are very similar tone. But I think League of Gentlemen stands
Steve
apart.
Pemberton, the guy that's in
Benidorm as well.
Benidorm,
Yeah.
That's right up your street, isn't it? You're going to say Benidorm next,
What?
aren't you?
Benidorm is one of those programs that, I don't know, it just seems to go on and on and on.
Yeah.
Are they still making new shows?
I have no idea.
Because it all looks the same.
Hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that he did that. But sorry, I really waffled on about this. But it's just, I think it's really exceptional, and I think it will stand the test of time. And it's also super smart because the first 2 series they created this bunch of characters that accidentally had catchphrases like "Are you local?"
Yeah.
And the moment they sensed that they were becoming catchphrases, in the sense that Little Brinton generated endless amounts of catchphrases, and then there were dolls. The third season. End of the second season, they killed off some of those main characters. And the third season concentrates on a new format and new characters because they didn't want to like settle into that groove.
Yeah.
So, the third season was so smart.
Yeah,
Like-
super divisive. Like people at the time, it was critically not well received. But ever since, people gone back and gone, "This is brilliant."
It was an attempt to move away, right?
The third season, every episode ends, like all 3 episodes are standalone.
Right.
All 6 episodes stand alone.
Yeah.
But the end of each episode tells you more about a shared story.
Right.
So you kind of piece it together week by week.
Yeah.
And it also has Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen in it.
Which is a mark of quality of any
Which is a
show.
plus in my
it?
book.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Well, see, so there's one thing that I should love, but I never really got into it, and that was Spaced.
Oh, I've never watched
So,
Spaced.
everybody was saying, "Oh, you'll love it. You love Star Wars. You'll love it." But I kind of came to it late,
I don't
and it
think
never
Space
really.
is laugh out loud funny.
Yeah, I never really
Really?
clicked with it.
I love
don't
Space.
think
I
I
don't like Transformers. So.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to get your t-shirt.
Got there
out.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Fawlty Towers
I like Faulty
is
Towers.
Yeah.
magnificent.
40 towels.
Exactly.
Flowery
Even things
twats.
But that is so
the quintessential
perfect.
British
Yeah.
comedy.
And it didn't
Genuinely
outstay its
perfect,
welcome,
I
did
think.
it?
But also,
imagine that writing that with your wife as well.
Who you then divorce?
I don't think you could get away with some of the stuff that's in it now, though.
No.
Like,
Very xenophobic towards the
when he does-
Spanish.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And the
then
Germans,
just the way that he
like-
does his walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goose step.
Yeah.
I think you could get away with that.
Do you think?
I
Of
don't.
course you
I
can.
don't think the BBC would take a chance like that in a million years.
Stuff in League of Gentlemen, for instance.
Yeah, but I don't. I think a lot of that stuff wouldn't be greenlit now.
I think.
Yeah, well, that used to be the mainstay of BBC Three, right? But BBC Three's now been relegated online, so they might take bigger.
What's the mainstay of BBC?
Like BBC Three was meant to be, slightly edgier comedy was its whole brief. Like it was meant to be the place for new original comedy that was perhaps slightly edgier, that might offend the audience of the BBC One and Two.
Yeah, I never put much truck behind that.
No,
because
no,
The thing
but-
that was shown on opening night of BBC Three was Little Britain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And for instance, like, yeah,
And Gavin and Stacey made its debut there. I mean, I know other comedy, I suppose. Green Wing, I quite like. You don't like Green Wing, I seem to remember.
I don't even know what it is.
Green Wing
I
is
don't
the
like Green Wing.
maybe it's you. So
Yeah.
Green Wing is kind of a hospital drama that it's kind of a comedy drama with Tamsin Greig, Stephen Mangan, who's quite famous, most famous probably for being Adrian Mole.
Right.
And yeah, it's just really well edited. It's created by Victoria Pyle, who's the person behind Smack the Pony. Very, very funny. And then the other thing I like is The Smoking Room, which is quite niche,
Yeah.
which is an old
Oh, I
BBC
remember
one.
seeing that.
So that's Robert Webb without David Mitchell, which is
Right.
I mean, Peep Show obviously would
That was
make this.
good,
yeah.
But yeah, and it's got quite a few big names of British comedy that you might just kind of know from around. And it's just very funny. It just takes place entirely in this smoking room of an office, and they're all just dossing all day, just going there to smoke. And there's quite a few good, funny characters and stories. So yeah, no, I think they're also good. And they're Smoking Room certainly is lesser known.
Yeah.
I would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other one was The Office, because that was when Ricky Gervais was good. And he's never quite...
He's still good. He's still got it.
He's not got that. He hasn't got The Office in his locker anymore.
No.
Like, The Office is...
Well, he's show running the US one, wasn't he? Or he was producing or something.
He's picking up a check.
Yeah.
Like...
Well, you need to do it at the end of the day.
But he wasn't involved in that. And it
Yeah.
became its own entity. But the 2 seasons of The Office and the Christmas specials are exceptional.
Yeah,
And,
and,
they
for that
changed
very reason
everything.
is
Like,
that because they didn't milk it, and it was just... I remember sort of the first time I watched it, I hadn't really heard about it, and I couldn't tell whether it was a genuine thing or not, and then you kind of find out more about
watch
it.
that
It
at
was just
college,
like,
and
it's hilarious.
Every day, me and my friends used to do the lines.
Yeah.
I think you're pathetic. But
You still do them.
You
but
still do them,
I
A
quote
lot.
The Office all the time.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend just quote The Office all the time.
Yeah.
But it was that seminal for my generation. But also,
Yeah.
like, its effects and the way it changed the grammar of sitcoms.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You watch
yeah, yeah.
sitcoms today, there's no rationale for why they're shot like that.
Yeah.
Why is Modern Family shot like a fly on
Yeah.
the wall? Who's filming it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Doesn't make
because
sense.
people got used to finding that presentation of comedy funny because that show was so funny.
Yeah.
So people copied it.
And
It makes no sense.
Just a quick note on that. What I love about that in the American Office, when Michael, who's Steve Carell, leaves, there's just a moment before he goes through airport security where they just actually do a nod to that, and like he takes off his mic pack and he hands it over to a camera guy who for the first time sticks his arm forward and takes it, and he's just like, yeah, can you let me know if this thing ever airs? And then just kind of goes, because obviously it would change the world, right? Because there'd be minor celebrities.
Well, that's the
and
thing,
it's just like
well,
it's just really nice moment.
The original deals with that in a brilliant way because in the Christmas special, it's years after it's gone out.
Yeah.
In fact, it opens with Ricky Gervais looking to camera going, stitch up. That's how I describe it, stitch up.
Yeah.
You know, they edit it down, they make me look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And he's doing all those terrible personal appearances alongside Bubbles from Big Brother and that guy, Howard, from the Halifax Suburbs.
Yes.
And he's dressed up as Austin Powers and he's like, shagadelic, baby.
It's grim.
Fantastic.
It was-
I'm going to watch it. I could quote that. And people say she's just a big pair of tits. Anyway.
And on that note,
No, but what else? Like, there's loads of great stuff.
There is
Yeah.
a lot.
Britain does like generate a lot of brilliant comedy.
And slightly
It
different,
does.
like we're quite good at, I think, maybe shifting the needle a little bit and just going somewhere
Yeah.
new. But I don't-
My favourite's probably 15 Stories High. I don't know if any of you have
I haven't
watched
heard
it.
of that.
Sean Locke, yeah. So it's Sean Locke and Benedict Wong, who's actually become a bit of a minor celebrity in big films. Like he was in Pacific Rim, and I don't know. He's a British guy who just plays the part in 15 Stories High so well. So it's about Sean Locke and Benedict Wong. They rent a flat in a tower block, and just everything that happens to them around this tower block is just kind of normal, mundane, everyday stuff.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it's taken from Sean Locke's stand-up as well, because he wrote it.
Yeah.
But there's 2
He's
seasons
really
of
funny.
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
find
two
it funny.
seasons of it, and I think if you get a chance to watch it, definitely do. I managed to catch it on BBC Two at 3 a.m. one time, and after that I just got hooked, and then ended up buying the DVDs.
yeah.
I think it was on Netflix, but I'm not sure if it is now.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things that intermittently is on there and it comes off and
Yeah.
comes back on. Father Ted.
Yeah. Haven't seen many episodes of it.
no,
but,
I find it
yeah.
very funny.
I like
You know what
Ted.
I'm like? I don't tend to watch that much telly.
Vicar of
Yeah.
Dibley.
Yeah.
No, but no, it's not,
I enjoyed it at the time. Like I like
No,
Blackadder.
I actually said that through-
I just for me to disrepute. I like the first season of Blackadder quite a lot.
yeah.
But
But
is
I don't think it's that controversial.
Everyone's
to say,
like,
Blackadder.
no, but the first season where everyone's like, oh, but
Oh, it
he's the
doesn't really hit
wimpy
its stride
one.
in the first season.
But
Ben
I
Alston
quite
doesn't come
like
forward.
that because it's so different to the other ones.
Yeah.
By the end, I'm fatigued by the end of the other ones. I'm like, yes, we get it. You're sarcastic, Baldrick, stupid. It's quite nice to then have the first one to be like, the tables have turned. That's just me.
There you go. Anyway, listeners, let us know what you think is the greatest British comedy ever made. IGN_UK feedback.
Probably keeping up appearances.
Do you think?
Is that the one with
Ms.
Bucket?
Bouquet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I used to watch that
Patricia
with my nan.
Routledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch Hetty Wainthropp Investigates with my nan. All woman solving crime. Said, Gran, can we do this? No, stay in. It
used to
was
watch
filmed
The
in Darwin.
Equalizer.
What? You used to watch The Equalizer?
Yeah, with my gran. Yeah, Edward Woodward.
What did you used to watch?
Which is a great
Gran?
I have no idea what any of these shows are.
Oh, so isn't it?
Edward Woodward.
It's Ewa Weewa. He's got no D's or something.
He's in
like that.
he's in Liquor Man.
If you remember that joke, IGN
What's that for, that
UK
joke?
feedback.
That is for
Yeah,
Ewa
but,
Woo-woo.
yeah, it's
What's
Ewa
that from?
Weewa, but I can't remember.
Ewa Woo-woo.
I don't know. There
I
was
have no
another
idea
great
what's
one.
happening and I'm lost, so I dread to think where everyone else is right now.
BBC reporter Nina Nana covered a story on the Beatles. Yeah, Nina Nana covered a story on the Beatles. That's genius.
Do you know who I also like? Lisa Mazimbo. You know Tom wants.
What is happening? What?
Lisa Mazimbo. Do you know about this story?
Newsround.
No.
Yeah, from Newsround, and he sometimes does like film coverage now for like
And
BBC News and stuff.
yeah.
And I've seen him at a few screenings. And Tom told me, Tom Butler obviously died when he left the IGN podcast. He told me a story that he once went to a festival. It might have been Glastonbury, and the BBC were covering it, and so there are all the stages, like hundreds of thousands of people all looking towards the stage, and Lisa Mazimbo was behind him doing a piece to camera, and then somebody obviously near the BBC tent spotted those Lisa Mazimbo. It kind of filtered through this 100,000 people. Everyone turned around while he's doing bits of camera. It's went, Lisa Mazimbo. Just ruined it. Did that for about 10 minutes.
That was the dream.
Oh,
He's great.
we support you, Lisa. I love him.
I think Rizla Teeth. That's a funny name. Because I just think this woman's got Rizzlers for teeth.
She can't eat anything.
It's just a whistling. It's a fluttering. Today in Baghdad.
God.
Are we putting
Hang on a minute.
this section up separately?
I think we are.
I don't understand. I was trying to get the gag of Ewa Weewa, but it's
Because
like,
I don't know if it's on... No.
why does Edward Woodward have 8 H's in his name? Because otherwise he'd be Ewa Weewa. That doesn't make any sense.
It's funny because it sounds funny.
Anyway, right. Shall we move on to listener feedback?
Oh,
Brilliant.
look, it's Bear Park West to edit it.
Potter
Calm
out.
your-
Wait, what's the
calm
time
your
on this? I have
tits.
to cut that out.
Right.
It's
Who's got the
half
first piece of feedback?
Me. Hi, it is from James Martin. Love the
What, the
podcast.
chef?
The chefs.
Saturday Kitchen. Did anybody...
I don't watch
he's-
Saturday
he's-
Kitchen, so I didn't get
He's
that.
a big car fan. He did a programme where he drove, I don't know, famous route through Italy.
Yeah.
He was a massive penile.
Really?
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Because I used to think he was all right, and then I watched that, and
Yeah, I thought similar.
like his co-driver or whatever, he was so horrible
Rude
and
to them.
disrespectful to him.
Really?
Also, don't get someone to read from an autocue that can't read. That's what I think every time we're Saturday Kitchen.
He's
not
cooking
getting
at the
better.
same time, though. It's
Not when he's
talent.
reading from the autocue, isn't he? He's doing a bit to camera.
Oh, fair enough.
James Martin says, if the powerhouses of Microsoft and Sony put their differences aside, merge together to create the ultimate console and share the market, would this be any good? There'd be no exclusives, none of the DLC first, palaver, and they can work together in the R&D.
Competition is good.
Competition is good for us because it makes people strive to be better, and also they'd never do that because that would require one of them to merge with the other, and it would never make sense for them. Why would they?
I think the pros would outweigh...
The cons of doing that would outweigh
yes,
the pros
yes.
significantly.
Because I think, they'd have a complete monopoly, and therefore they could do whatever they wanted to.
Yep,
and it wouldn't be with our best interests.
No, they can jack
I
the
don't
prices
think.
up. They can do whatever they want.
I've got one from Rob
Can you do
Porter.
your VO voice?
Yes, I can.
Good.
This is from Rob Porter. And now I'm going to go back to my voice.
Good.
Do you know what time of... Well, do you know what... Oh, my God. Brilliant.
Can you go back to the other voice?
I'll
Because
go
that's
to the
a bit
video.
James
I can
Martin.
read like that.
Come on, James Martin.
When I'm cooking, I'm fine. Do you know what time of day new releases are available to download on Xbox Live? It usually goes to bed... pretty late, and he's noticed that even by 5 or 6 a.m, the free games with gold games aren't available yet.
This is why we don't allow you on this podcast, because you just drop things. And you-
Yeah,
speak funny.
So-
I don't think there's any set time. So stuff, just in general, Xbox Live stuff gets uploaded at different times every single time. So unfortunately, it's not always going to be there at whatever time.
I just go to bed, mate, and wake up in the morning. It'll still be there when you get up, or not.
There you go.
So, Dean Renison says, basically it's a complaint, Bear Park. Right, okay. Are you aware that some of the issues with Skippy Audio on the current week's
Yes.
episode? Are you
Bear
aware of
Park,
this? Are you aware
yes.
of it? It starts around 26 minute mark and just keeps going. Come on. You
So,
aware? Dean says, are you
Yeah,
aware?
I'm aware.
That
Yeah.
was
This is why we
Max's
had you on
fault.
this week, just so you can get a pillory.
So what's your excuse?
Okay, so we have a piece of hardware called the TriCaster, which we record all of our podcasts onto.
TriCaster 1200.
And it's
Bad
actually
work,
the TriCaster 460, but I'll let you off.
Oh, it's got similar beveling.
The hard drive capacity was maxing out on the TriCaster.
You
so
didn't think to check that
Whose-
before
whose job is it
before
to-
the talent came
I was
into the
quite
room.
busy last week. So
Don't make excuses.
Anyway, it's Rich's fault.
However, if it's done it this week, I apologise again, and
So-
I don't know what the problem is.
Well, if you've done it this
if
week,
it's
you won't
done
be
it
able to
again
hear
this
that.
week,
then this
then-
bit won't be heard.
no, but
You won't be here
our
next week.
readers can write in with a forfeit that you have to do.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm legitimately on.
if-
As long as it
if-
involves chocolate.
Yeah.
You don't get to
Yeah.
decide. Well,
It
what-
involves
you know what?
the insertion
Same colour.
of-
It involves
in
a
my mouth.
metre of Toblerone.
Giant Toblerone.
And you're not eating it. Death by Mau Mau.
Right.
Well, I'm a fidge fadge.
I've got an email from.
There's more.
10 man
Oh,
down.
okay.
There's more from Dean because we've
What's
talked
Dean
about.
got?
Dean's got lots of stuff to say on the topic of older gamers. I still play loads, and I'm 43. But my dad has an Xbox 360. Has played every COD since COD 2.
Wow.
And most. Oh, I said COD. And most of the Halo games. I think he played them on Legendary. He's 64. If he was a bit older, he could have played the original COD.
Wow.
More kind of, you know I hate history, Alex.
You do
We'll
hate
get
history.
on to that in a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty 2, that was a good game.
Yeah. Next
Anyway.
one.
Next.
Craig Watts from Chengdu in China says, "That can't." A while back, you guys were talking about phrases you were incorrectly saying for years. Well, I found out two in the space of a day. The first was from your very own Krupa. He mentioned a furore, and I recognised the word immediately, but it wasn't spoken the way that he'd pronounced it. So he didn't actually say. Oh, he was under the impression it was pronounced furore. I can't even say it now. How do you say it, Krupa?
I can't remember. Like, it's one of those
Ferrari.
weird-
Didn't you say Ferrari or Ferrari?
That's how it's.
Furore.
I can't remember why. I've got word alienation now.
See, I thought it is furore.
That's how I pronounce it.
How do you pronounce it?
Let me
I don't know. I change it with every news video because I never know the correct way, and I
I
can't.
put it in every one.
I put it in every one just to wind people up. I don't do that. I'd never wind people up.
Furore. I'll say Furore.
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 Voice sounds different on the podcast.
Furore.
You can either, either or either.
Oh,
Hey,
There you go.
tomato, tomato.
what's his other one?
What's the other? Did you say another word?
So in the
yeah.
soundboard, this.
So
Furore.
stop it. So the next day, he watched an Attenborough documentary, and he was mentioned the word. So pop that in there.
No.
Lichen.
It's lichen.
So it is lichen.
It's lichen,
That's how
yeah.
I pronounce it.
As opposed to
But he
lichen.
always thought it was pronounced lichen.
Yeah.
How does your funny voice say it? Oh, it's not found.
Do you mean my voice or?
This, yeah, you know.
Lichen. Lichen.
Lichen.
Lichen.
Oh,
Lichen, oh.
So can it be
So
pronounced both ways?
No.
Lichen.
Well, what's the lichen that you just said?
I wonder if it's kind of an American like niche and niche.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But
more?
I would have said no. It's just the two.
Just the two.
Anyway, I would have said it was lichen.
Yeah.
Any other words you want to hear? I've got them all here.
No.
No.
Anyway, he says his English has been suffering from living in China too long, so he thinks he needs to move back to Blighty. But I actually don't think you're wrong. I think they can be pronounced both ways.
Yeah.
One last thing. Got to say, I've experienced the same thing Krupa mentioned. Was that your rash?
Yeah,
I think it was your rash,
You just
wasn't
need
it?
a
Yeah.
topical cream. It's
Yeah.
off the shelf at Boots.
Good.
It's nice. It smells like chamomile.
That's good. Playing multiplayer games, I think that's the same subject. That need teamwork with randoms. I think that is the same subject.
Yeah, that's how I got it. Honestly, Torch Garden. What?
And you've been crushed by a frustratingly good team. That's definitely
Yeah,
true.
they were champion.
I would. Mine's kind of linked because that's linked to Evolve, right?
Evolve.
Yeah. So just building on that from Jake Reed, he says. Evolve's tickled my fancy. The gameplay looks very unique and fresh, but there seems to be very little they could add to keep the formula from becoming a slog and a bore. Is it worth your money? Is there something they haven't shown that makes it exciting? And also, he's nervous about the notion of playing with randoms. If you know, because without communication, I think that game is going to be very stunted.
I think that's the whole point of the game, as it were. Like, they're creating a game based around that concept. Although I had a meeting about Evolve earlier this week, and obviously can't go into specifics. But there's more to that game that they haven't communicated. There's more modes and more stuff to do. But obviously, the central concept is all about this hunting dynamic.
Yeah.
So they really want to convey that in all the kind of stuff they're showing so far. So there's going to be more to Evolve than meets the eye.
Like Transformers.
Yeah.
Robots in disguise.
Got one from Joseph Kramer, talking about favourite Simpsons episodes the other week.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And he is a big fan of Lisa on The Simpsons. So some of his favourite episodes are Lisa's episodes. So he's got stuff like Lisa's Pony, I Love Lisa, Lisa's Sax, Round Springfield, Lisa's Substitute, just to name a few. And he also loves Flaming Moe's as well, which is brilliant.
Flaming Moe's is fantastic.
Yeah.
He's also got some favourite quotes as well.
Come on, hit
Them
me up.
in your Simpsons voice.
Oh God,
I can try. Okay, so this is going to be Homer. You'll know this quote anyway. It's like, "Hello, my name is Mr. Burns. I believe you have a letter for me." "Okay, what's your first name, Mr. Burns?" "I don't know."
IGN_UK feedback at IGN.com if you want to give any feedback on that impression
Do
whatsoever.
you want Rich back on?
And don't ask that. I have to see these emails.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
bear in
want
mind this was your audition, so it's it's all on you.
Well, that's right. I've got Chief Wiggum next.
Oh God,
Suspect is hate. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Suspect is hateless. Repeat, hateless. I can't do a Wiggum impression, so I'm not going to do it. But they're his favourite quotes.
Rich, you definitely weren't.
yeah, don't worry about it.
Were you doing it?
I tried at the start, but it didn't really work. What's your favourite? I can't. What's he sound like? I need that.
Clancy.
He's quite. You're upset with probably quite a wide mouth.
Is that it?
I don't know. Suspect is hateless. No, it's not working.
I just don't.
Not working for me or anyone. What's your favourite quote?
Well, you've got a list of them, haven't you?
That was his favourite quote.
Isn't there another bit?
I've gone through my favourite quotes to do about Homer farting.
Yeah, we've done it before. We've done
Yes,
the
I
favourite
am.
quotes.
I did
I'm a
listen to that
cultured
one.
man.
I've never heard you do it in the voice of
In the
Homer
voice
Simpson.
of Hey, who's that?
In the style of Rich Bear Park.
If you don't watch the violence, how do you become desensitised to the violence? Bart Simpson. That's how I justify watching loads and loads of horror movies as a kid.
There you go.
Good. Bart Simpson.
Actually, one last thing from Joseph. He would like Alex's God of War review outtakes on the 250th episode of the
He's actually
podcast.
said what episode that.
Yeah, and he's given us
Yeah.
a time code and everything. And
So I think it's going to be pretty easy to track down and probably include in.
they are
which
a
is-
stuff of beauty.
What did I say?
The favorite one is
Got to cross a chasm?
Have trouble crossing a chasm. Have trouble crossing a chasm.
Don't do the hand gestures.
No,
That's
I'm not.
wrong.
No, that nearly went. Don't look at the video. I just went have trouble crossing a chasm. Look, as South Park can do it.
Are we subject to Ofcom?
No,
I've often wondered this. I don't think.
Probably.
I think we're probably fine.
We record this in international waters.
We're on a boat near Guernsey.
IGN's based on an oil rig in the North Sea.
There you go.
You got another email?
We skip that one.
All right, okay. Craig Biles emails to say, I don't see why they don't allow characters to be customizable, having full control over the look of the person who gets into the Animus. So this is obviously about Assassin's Creed.
The fact there wasn't a female assassin, right?
Ladies from the Assassin's Creed. Altering the in-game character to be similar to the external one who is using the Animus. They could use the excuse of residual memories to explain away why you may look female even if you are living a male relative's life.
So he's making the point that your modern day character could be male or female, but the assassin will be male, right? That's
Yeah.
what he's saying.
But I don't think that was ever the point here.
No.
It was all about
Why couldn't there be a female assassin?
to make her look female rather than just, a skinned male animated.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying it's set in the French Revolution, one of the most famous assassins of the French Revolution.
Well, one in particular,
Yeah.
the most fit one.
Is a lady.
Yeah, Charlotte Corday. There's a famous painting depicting it as
Do
well.
you hate history?
I do hate history. We'll get onto that later because I am an ignoramus.
Good. So, no, I hear what he's saying, but I think it's a tricky one because I would like there to be a female assassin, but when they did Aveline for Assassin's Creed Liberation, it did come under a lot of flack. People were like, oh, they haven't animated this properly. It looks just like a man running, because I think they actually used the same model as they used for Ezio in Assassin's Creed 2. So her movements are quite mannish, which is fine, but a lot of people have been like, oh, they didn't put the time required effort in. So if you actually want them to move like a woman and actually move differently, it is a bit more effort. I'm not saying it's undoable, and I'm not saying they shouldn't. I think they should do it.
I think they should animate, when we get the female assassin, get the Paula Radcliffe head. When she used to run, Paula Radcliffe.
She's got a famous...
she's got a really famous, distinctive running style.
Did she shit herself as well?
She did.
Well, you're editing that one out.
Yeah.
I thought about that as I said it.
I don't think that's every woman who runs, though, Rich.
Imagine that in an
Paula
Assassin's Creed
Radcliffe.
game. I'm in a
Yeah, but you're not going to run for 26 miles in Assassin's Creed, are you?
Yeah, knackered. Having a whoopsie up top of Notre Dame.
That's a big pigeon.
Up to my whoopsie.
Massive pigeons at the top of Notre Dame.
Yeah. Oh no! Where's that come from? I'm getting my head cut off. That's the last thing that happens to me. Could this day get any worse?
That's it for reader feedback, I believe. Let's look at the games and movies that are out this week. And, we gave Valiant Hearts to the person on our team who hates history more than everybody else.
So,
justify
shall I explain
yourself.
where this comes from?
Yeah.
So at the bottom of an IGN review, we have these kind of bullet points that summarise the pros and cons of the experience. And one of the negatives I put for Valiant Hearts was
history.
Was basically reality. No, I put intrusive historical facts.
Because it's like it's mustard gas, and this was a very bad gas, or something, right?
Yeah, so in the context of the game, I spend hundreds of words explaining that I think the game does a brilliant job of evoking the historical period it sets out.
I don't want to read those words, Daniel. I just want to see the score and the 3 words that are next to it.
So people said I hate history when I actually praised the game for its use of history. What I didn't like was that throughout the game does a great job of showing you the machinery of war, and the First World War was the first heavily mechanized war, so it shows you things like flamethrowers, tanks, chemical warfare in the form of mustard gas, like Luke said, and the effects it has on people. And while presented in a cartoon style, it's still quite horrific. But then there's a prompt that comes up and it's like, here's a fact. Now you don't have to press triangle, but it's really insistent, and when you do, it's like this really pretty lame in Cartoon 95 style info dump, which I think is completely at odds with the game. The game's telling you about war.
Yeah.
I'm playing it. I'm learning about it. If I can go off and research stuff,
It looks like it really takes you out of it.
It takes you out of the experience, but also it's just very unstylish.
Yeah.
And also I think what's great about games is there's a golden rule of narration, and it says show, don't tell.
Yeah.
Telling is crude, showing is better. And what's even better about games is they can let you experience.
Yeah.
They don't even have to tell you. Can let you experience what it's like to be in war. So for that to come up, I find it intrusive, and that's what I said. And people have gone, "Oh, IGN hates history.
Yeah,
you can't spell IGN without ignorant without IGN." Great, but it's not that. I actually like history. I just don't need it. Would Saving Private Ryan be better if presented in VH1 pop-up video style? Don't think so.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I'm very sensitive, so I take this to heart.
Anyway,
I shouldn't read
just tell us what you gave it.
It's rubbish. No, it's not. It gave it 7.7. It's very good. It's a puzzle game that's not that difficult.
If you liked history, what would you give it?
If I liked it, probably 10.
There you go.
Good.
Yeah.
I agree.
Also out this week is Grid Autosport,
which we gave a good review to. I believe we gave it an 8 point something.
Yeah,
we got 8.3, which is great. It was reviewed by Luke, who reviews all of our racing games.
Not me.
Yeah.
He's got wheels instead of legs.
Yeah.
It's like one of those dogs. But he also gave it, he said, it's very, very good. It promised a realistic racer, and that's exactly what it is. And
it delivers what TOCA fans wanted.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Grid, Codemasters in general have gone off and done, they've, in search of popularity, have
more arcadey things, right?
Whereas this re-establishes that. Which I think is good. It's a bit of a weird one that's out on current gen, well, last gen or whatever, Xbox 360 and PS3, not next gen. But, hey-ho. If you like that kind of thing, it's a good game.
Is anything else out?
One Piece Unlimited World Red. Now, I don't know what that is.
No.
The DS? Is that DS?
No, One Piece is it's a very obviously Japanese-focused game. It's based on one of the most popular long-running mangas and animes called One Piece.
We haven't played that.
My mate's actually got a tattoo all the way up his arm of just One Piece.
Jesus. What, someone in a onesie?
No.
Also, the Steam
Come on.
sale is on, so there's anything you've missed recently, this could be a chance to pick it up, I guess.
Sniper
for cheap.
Elite 3 is out, but we didn't actually get copies, did we?
No,
Which is always a bit of a warning sign.
not really.
Really?
It's got very favourable reviews.
Really?
Yeah. We just haven't posted our review yet. I think that's just an oversight.
I think they were posted to the old office. I think that's
Yeah.
all that's happened here,
Good.
if I'm honest.
Good.
It's got nothing to do with the quality of the game. In terms of movies, Chef. What's Chef?
Chef is a kind of comedy drama from Jon Favreau. Rosen directed it. Robert Downey Jr. features in the marketing very heavily. I believe he's only in it for a couple of minutes.
It looks quite interesting though. Have you seen it? Or
No, I haven't seen it.
it interests me, I think, just because of the chef thing. I quite like cooking and all that kind of stuff.
Then you like
And
Transformers.
I like Jon Favreau as well. He's
Yeah.
he's a talented man.
But yeah,
Sofia Vergara's in it, right, as well?
Yeah, so
Remember the posters now.
Looks quite interesting. It's about the food truck revolution, isn't it?
bringing
in
you
America?
reviews of films based on posters.
And John
Since
Leguizamo.
2009.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So we haven't played.
Yeah, we
or watched
don't know
any
anything
of this
about
crap.
Well, obviously, the biggie is Mrs. Brown's Boys, the movie.
Which we discussed earlier, but
I'm going to go see that in IMAX.
Aye.
Just to see her massive
beard.
fake female form.
Yeah.
Good.
Can't wait.
Anyway, so
It's shot in
recommendations?
IMAX, so.
Well, out of those two films,
Nolan directed it.
Those two films.
Chef.
Chef, I guess.
100%.
I'd stay
that's
and
only
watch
because
one of
no
the
way on
comedy
earth
shows.
that we would recommend Mrs. Brown's
Or
Boys.
watch one of the comedy shows we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just binge watch all of those.
And then game, would you say,
Well, I would say both Valiant Hearts and Grid are good options.
depending on what you're into?
Yeah.
But also Sniper,
Yeah.
if you like shooting the people in the head, which I do.
Good.
There you go.
Great.
That's it for this week's podcast. You can get in touch as always, IGN_UK feedback at IGN.com. And then don't forget, if this podcast is wrong in any way whatsoever, you get to choose the forfeit that Rich Bear Park does.
I'm
So
quite
I'm
worried
really
now.
hoping this
I don't know why I
Yeah.
agreed to
Providing
this.
they can even hear this.
Yeah.
They might not be able to hit.
Oh, no.
I thought there was some static there, was there?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for this week. Until next week, bye-bye.
Bye.